Hello beautiful humans and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to be the magnetic goddess that you are. I have 13 steps and 13 is actually a goddess number. So make sure that you stick around right to the end of the video so that you don't miss any of these juicy tips. If you're new to this channel, I'm Monica, a certified dating and relationship coach, author and lover of all things love. Here we talk about all things self-love, goddess feminine energy, dating and relationships. So if you enjoy this video, please like this video and subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any of my weekly videos. Now in this video, I'm also trying a different style where I'm not going to be going off of a script. I have my 13 steps, but I'm trying a slightly more informal style. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments if you prefer this slightly more informal style or if you prefer the scripted versions of the style that I normally do. So yeah, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. Okay, so let's jump right into the video. So my first point is that in order to be truly magnetic, it actually has to come from within. Your internal world has to be truly magnetic. And by that, I think the best way to do that is to create an internal world that is full of self-love, self-worth, and self-belief. Those are the most attractive and magnetic traits that you can emanate with. I have full-length videos about these topics, so I will link them in the show notes for you to delve into these topics deeper in terms of how to embody more self-love and self-worth and self-belief. Number 2, which ties in with the aspect of self-love, is to become obsessed with yourself. Prioritize yourself, put yourself first, and other people will do the same. If you show people how you treat yourself by valuing yourself, being obsessed with yourself, showering yourself with self-love, that is a very attractive trait and other people will treat you that same way. That gives you a very magnetic aura. Number 3 is to protect your own energy. You cannot give from an empty cup. The most magnetic aura that somebody can give out is that of vitality, of radiance, and you won't be vibrating from that place if you haven't filled up your own cup energetically. So you need to do things like self-regulation and also just stop overextending yourself. I see this so much with women that we feel like if we self-sacrifice, then we'll be deserving of love. No, that's not how it works. You need to fill up your own cup first. You need to shower yourself with self-love first, and then you can then extend that love out to others. Number 4 is emotional resilience. Honestly, I think one of the most attractive traits that a woman can embody is having that sense of calm and stillness about her. Personally, for me, I definitely have felt at times in my life that I have allowed my emotions to take over and for me to lose control in some way, whether that's in an argument or, you know, different types of scenarios. And actually that's not powerful and it's not magnetic. That's not a sexy allure. You know, you have to, if you have emotional resilience, then you can still feel your emotions, but you're just not going to be this overly emotional, explosive person all the time. That's not an attractive trait to embody. So you have to learn to self-regulate. You have to learn to calm your own emotions in order for you to then process them and also then get your needs actually met. Because if you try to get your needs met from an emotional place, neither party is going to actually be hearing each other. So there's not going to be a productive outcome from that. Number 5, to be magnetic, is that you have to enjoy your own company. If you're going to magnetize people to want to spend time with you, then you have to enjoy spending time with yourself first and foremost. If you don't, then why should anybody else? Number 6 is to make others feel special. I think people underestimate the power of this. When you're in conversation with someone, have you ever had it when you've spoken to somebody and they talk for ages and ages and ages and you're consciously aware that you're just listening to them, and then afterwards you overhear them saying to somebody, or they say to one of your friends, gosh, that girl, she was so great, you know, I really enjoyed our conversation. And you're thinking to yourself, I literally didn't say anything, I just listened to you, but that's fine. And that's because there is so much power with just having someone feel heard, having someone feel that what they have to say is of interest to you. And so I think a powerful way to do this is, rather than listening to put your point across or to voice your opinion, which is the way that most people listen these days, which isn't truly actually listening. Instead, listen to learn about that person, to learn about their culture, to learn about their different perspective. You know, even if they have a different perspective to you, listen for the sake of understanding their perspective and not necessarily having to rebuttal their point or to state your opinion. Remember, people will remember how you made them feel. Number 7 is be an asset to the environment that you're going into. So, for instance, in conversation, add your intellect, add your positivity into the conversation, and have a voice. I think so much of the time women are frightened to have a voice, but having a voice just gives a unique perspective that people will remember. And so that is magnetism, you know, that is creating a magnetic aura around you, that people just are attracted to you. They want you in the conversation. They want to hear what you have to say about something. Number 8 is confidence. Now, this can show up in so many different ways, but it really needs to start from within. And I use the idea of the goddess self-concept for this, where I picture, who is this most confident version of myself? Who is she? Who is my goddess self-concept? Because we all have a goddess within us, but so much of the time we don't connect to her. And the goddess is your most confident version of yourself. It's this feminine, powerful version of yourself. And so a lot of my work is about tapping into that and reconnecting to that goddess within. And a way to do this is to create a goddess self-concept for yourself and then to focus on embodying that. So how does she hold herself? How does she step into a room? How does she speak? How did, you know, for instance, with your voice, it's a much more confident way to speak when you speak with poise, with grace, with a slightly slower pace, rather than feeling the need to sort of to fill up the space. And I used to be like that in conversations. I used to feel awkward if there was silence, and so then I'd want to fill it with basically word vomit. But that doesn't show confidence. That just shows insecurity. So work out the ways that you feel like you will step into your most confident version of yourself, and then do little incremental steps towards that. You don't have to suddenly overnight become her, but just having the image in your mind, I think, really helps with that. Number 9 is embrace your feminine beauty. Now, I'll link a video at the end which will talk all about embodying your most attractive feminine qualities. And I think that definitely will help to become your most magnetic version of yourself. For me, that is becoming the goddess within, and the goddess within is your most magnetic self. So definitely watch that video and it will help with that. Also read my book, Goddess in Love, and that will help for you to really understand. We go into depth in that book about how to embody your most feminine, powerful version of yourself. Number 10 is presence. So slow down. There is so much power in stillness and having a slower pace. So when you enter a room, you know, walk with a slower pace. Gaze around you. Really connect with people with eye contact and hold the eye contact. Don't just feel the need to sort of, if they catch eyes with you, to look away. Hold eye contact with them. There's so much power to that. There's so much presence to that. And that is so magnetic. That's so seductive, to be honest. So yeah, keep that seductive, magnetic allure about you by just slowing down your pace, just being present with what's around you and just embracing that. Number 11 is have a level of mystery about you. There is something so magnetic about wanting to learn more about somebody that hasn't completely overshared about themselves. You know, and even in a conversation type dynamic, you don't want to be the person that has just been speaking for an hour about yourself. You want to open up the conversation and hear more about the other person. And so you don't have to tell everybody everything about yourself straight away. You know, allow it to be this slow, gradual process, because to be honest with you, not everyone deserves to know everything about you straight away, especially in like a dating scenario with a man. Allow him to prove himself before you start sharing everything about yourself, because not everybody deserves to know everything about you yet. You know, not when you go on a date, that guy that you've just met doesn't deserve to know about your childhood trauma or your toxic ex or things like that. They don't deserve to have that information about you yet. So just be discerning about who and how much you share about yourself within the time frame of how long you've known that person for. And number 12 is don't always be available. There is so much value in scarcity. In fact, value is added based on scarcity. So for instance, like if there's a product that's really difficult to get hold of, that's just added the value to it. And that's why then prices of things go up, because there's demand for it. So with your own time and energy, don't say yes to every single invitation. Be that person that if you go to the event or get to spend time with, for instance, your date, you know, he's like, I'm so lucky to get to spend this time with this person because they're not always available. They have so much other stuff going on in their life and they've carved out some time to spend time with me, but they're not always available. That is a very unattractive trait, to be honest, especially for the woman to always be available, especially to a man. But even, you know, in terms of events and things like that, don't go to every single event. Be that person that people are like, oh great, Monica's come to this event. She doesn't always come to things, and I know she adds a great energy to the space. So that is a very magnetic quality, that if you're that person that people have put on a bit of a pedestal in terms of your time and energy, if you then bring that and then don't always be available for things, then that is a very magnetic, attractive trait. And finally, point number 13 is practice the art of detachment. Don't need for anything or anyone. And I'm not talking about this in the sense of, you know, independent woman, I don't need no man. But you can want to spend time with people. So for instance, your relationship or your date, you can want to spend time with them. But when you desperately need them, that's a very different energy. And that's not a magnetic energy. That's a desperate energy, which is actually very unattractive and very unmagnetic. So practice the art of detachment in your life in general, and people will become more attracted to you. So those are my 13 points of how to become the magnetic goddess that you are. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be linking the video at the end about embodying more of your feminine energetic qualities. And you can look down in the show notes as well for all my different meditations and affirmations about that sort of thing, which I think will help you if you enjoyed this sort of theme of this video. I love to hear from you guys, so please do leave a comment below, and I look forward to seeing you guys next Friday for my next video. And please like and subscribe to this channel. See you next week. Bye.